To lose fat faster, you don't need to remove all carbs. You need a proven blueprint that makes it feel easier. So I'm going to show you my blueprint, which has helped my clients like Hassan lose fat twice as fast by fixing the #1 reason most fat loss plans fail. Here's what no fitness influencer wants to admit. You will feel hungry on a calorie deficit. It's a sign you're losing fat. Anyone saying otherwise is selling you something. I've lost over 80 pounds. Coached hundreds, competed in 2 bodybuilding shows, and I have a master's in performance nutrition, and I still get hungry when dieting. Everyone does. The difference is how you respond. Most men do great Monday through Thursday, then Friday hits hunger, stress, and one takeaway turns into a weekend binge. By Monday, all progress is gone. Even during my own show prep, 12 days out and starving, I caved and ordered oily Sichuan noodles. No protein, no fiber, still hungry. What saved me wasn't willpower. It was having a backup, Greek yogurt, fruit, and no trigger foods in the house. The real difference between clients who lose fat and those who stay stuck, it's not genetics or metabolism, it's learning to manage hunger before it manages you. So let's talk about what actually works, not theory, but what I've seen work for real clients over the past decade. Okay, so I'm gonna start with something that may seem obvious, but trust me, almost everyone gets this wrong. Back in, I think it was May 2020, I got caught up in all that carnivore diet hype. You know, where you label plants as poison, that kind of crowd. Went all in meat, organs, cheese, eggs, that's it. No plants whatsoever. And what a mistake that was. About 3 weeks in, I would finish dinner at around 6 p.m, then raid the cupboard by 8 p.m. Couldn't focus during client calls, constantly thinking about food. My fat loss completely stalled despite eating nothing but animal-based food. See, here's what I realized, and I see this with clients all the time. Your stomach is kind of like those old Victorian houses where you can hear your neighbors arguing through the walls. Without fiber, you've got zero insulation. Every hunger signal, every craving comes through loud and clear. There's nothing to buffer it. This isn't just my personal experience. I've reviewed hundreds of client food logs over the years, and the pattern is crystal clear. Guy comes to me, swears he's eating clean, but can't stop snacking at night. I check his logs. Chicken, rice, maybe a bit of broccoli, 10 grams of fiber daily, if that. No wonder he's eating a whole packet of salted cashews at 9 p.m. His meals aren't lasting. The thing about fiber that nobody talks about, it doesn't just fill space in your stomach. It actually triggers hormonal responses that regulate appetite. When you eat fiber-rich food, your gut bacteria produce compounds that increase GLP-1 and PYY, literally the same hormonal pathways targeted by those weight loss injections celebrities are paying thousands for each month. I had this client, Steve, back in 2021, typical office worker, thought he was doing everything by the book. Protein shakes, chicken breasts, brown rice, textbook clean eating. But every single night, around 8 p.m, he'd lose control, demolish a pack of biscuits, feel terrible, promise to do better tomorrow. We made just 3, can I count? 3 changes. Swapped his rice for potatoes, added 2 portions of non-starchy veg to each meal, replaced his morning shake with overnight oats. Same calories, same protein, but suddenly his meals had 3 times the volume and triple the fiber. 2 weeks later, he sent me a text. Haven't wanted to eat anything after dinner for days. Scales moving again. His rate of fat loss literally doubled, not because of some metabolic magic, but because he stopped erasing weekly progress every weekend. Understanding what foods are actually high in fiber can be a challenge. So I put together a cheat sheet of my top 20 high fiber foods. You can get this for free below. But look, fiber is just the foundation. It's necessary and works very well. The next strategy is one I used to think was complete nonsense until I tried it myself. I used to think mindful eating was wellness retreat nonsense, but in 2018, after a client's success, I tried it myself. No phone, no TV, just me and my food. First day, torture. By day 3, I was full on, less food and didn't crave anything after meals. Here's why it works. Your brain needs 20 minutes to register fullness, but most men finish their meals in 5. It's like judging a football match after 10 minutes. You're missing the full picture. Try this. Pick one meal a day. Breakfast is easiest. Put your phone in another room. Chew each bite around 20 times. Fork or spoon down between bites. Notice how full you feel as you go. Don't say you're too busy. My busiest clients, surgeons, CEOs, dads of 4, found 15 minutes to actually taste their food. So can you. Now onto a strategy that's sure to get me some hate mail because it goes against what most fitness influencers preach. Okay, so this might upset some people, but after coaching hundreds, I can't ignore the results. Lowering dietary fat works for fat loss. Here's why. 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 120 calories. A whole plate of veggies, also 120 calories. Which keeps you fuller? Easy answer. Fat has almost no thermic effect. Your body burns just 3% of those calories processing it. Protein and carbs burn much more, 20 to 30%, 6 to 8%. Over a week, that's hundreds of extra calories burned by just eating smarter. Dan was once a keto devotee, tracked everything, avocado, nuts, olive oil, butter, but he was always hungry and stuck. We cut his fat to just what he needed for hormones and replaced the rest with potatoes, fruit, beans, and loads of veggies. 2 weeks later, he had more energy, less hunger, and fat loss doubled. Not because fat is bad, but because his meals were 3 times bigger for the same calories. The takeaway? Lower fat to essentials, fill up on carbs and veggies, and you'll find it much harder to overeat, even in a deficit. But there's one more strategy I need to share, and it's one I used to make fun of. I'll admit it, I used to scoff at walking as a fat loss tool. If you weren't gasping for air, it wasn't a real workout. Then my knees gave out and walking was the only thing I could do. To my surprise, hunger stabilized, joint pain improved, and those post-workout binges vanished. Here's why. HIIT and intense cardio increase stress hormones and hunger, making you more likely to eat back every calorie and then some. Walking burns calories without triggering those cravings. Gareth, a former rugby player, was doing HIIT every day but still had belly fat. We swapped HIIT for 8 to 12,000 steps a day, morning walks, lunchtime strolls, and after dinner walks. 3 weeks later, his fat loss doubled. Not because walking burns more calories, but because he wasn't unconsciously compensating with food. After 21 years, I've learned sustainable fat loss isn't about torching the most calories in 30 minutes. It's about what keeps your deficit going for months without making you hungrier. For most guys, that's walking, aiming for 8 to 12,000 steps daily, broken up however fits your life. And remember, you don't need to and shouldn't be aiming to get stage lean. This is about looking and feeling good all year round, not torturing yourself for a photo shoot. Now let's see how these 5 strategies work together in practice. So how do you turn this into a plan you can actually use? After coaching hundreds of clients, here's the blueprint that delivers real results. Accept hunger as part of the process, but it shouldn't be unbearable. Get 30 to 40 grams of fiber daily. This is your hunger management foundation. Eat at least 1 meal mindfully, preferably all. No phone, no rushing, just you and your food. Keep fat moderate. 0.3 grams per pound of your body weight daily is enough for hormones, but room for filling foods. and walk 8 to 12,000 steps a day, especially when progress slows. Just yesterday, I was filming these meals for this video, and by loading up on veggies, I accidentally put myself in a calorie deficit. I'm trying to bulk, but these meals were so filling, I spent 20 minutes afterwards trying to eat a giant bowl of cereal with full-fat milk just to hit my calories. Here's all it takes. Breakfast, overnight oats with berries, Greek yogurt, and protein powder keeps you full for hours. And it's really simple. Lunch, sweet potato with lean mince, a big handful of green beans, and Brussels sprouts. So filling, you'll forget snacks exist. And dinner, chicken breast with fajita rub, red pepper, mixed beans, brown rice, and a raw carrot salad. Satisfying without the heavy, bloated feeling. What still blows my mind after 21 years? The simplicity. No exotic supplements, no weird meal timing, no banning foods, just practical strategies that work for real people with busy lives. So here's the only question. Are you actually going to implement this, or just think, that's interesting, and keep repeating the same frustrating cycle? The choice and the results are yours. Imagine where you could be 6 weeks from now if you actually applied these principles, getting leaner each week, not losing and regaining the same few pounds. Fat loss isn't always comfortable, but it doesn't have to be miserable. After over 2 decades of dieting, I know what works for real people, managing hunger, not just grinding harder. When I started using these principles with my clients, everything changed. No more good week, bad weekend, repeat. Progress became steady and predictable. Weekend binges, rare exceptions. If you're tired of starting over every Monday, I can help you break that cycle for good. Click the link below to apply for coaching. I've been in the fitness industry again since 2017, coaching purely online since 2019, and I only work with clients I know I can help. So be honest when you apply. Remember, losing fat twice as fast isn't about a magic pill or killing yourself in a gym. It's about managing hunger before it manages you. If you want to know some of the biggest fat loss myths that will keep you stuck, watch this video next. I'll see you there.